Oh my goodness, guys. What is up, and welcome here to the Daily Quest. The new series here where the cat actually just aggroed me at this very moment. The new series where, we're going to be sitting down looking at a lot of replays and analyzing both games, specific heroes, different types of builds and styles, and of course engagements that we see in tournaments. The whole purpose of the show is for learning Heroes of the Storm and getting better at the game. So it's going to be happening pretty much Tuesday through Friday every single day of the week. And 4 p.m. Eastern is the start time we're shooting for. I do not know what the cat is doing right now. The cat is just full on aggro mode. But yeah, so to start things off, let me just do a quick introduction as to who I am. So if you're a new viewer, if you guys have never seen any of the stuff I do here in the Heroes community, well, I go by the name Solid Jake, which happens to be behind me. And I've got a very diverse esports background. Started out as a guy in the Smash community. I was a competitor, got picked up by MLG. I worked with them for a long time. I've done a lot of things in productions. I've actually helped run BlizzCon productions. I've done a lot of things in the competitive esports world, and my whole focus here is Heroes of the Storm. So I'm a caster for the game, but I also do a lot of productions. And I said, hey, there's a big gap missing in the introductory levels of Heroes of the Storm, teaching people about the game, both in the high-end level and the more introductory level. So that's kind of what we're aiming here with this show. We want to help teach the game a little bit better, and we want to do some fun stuff as well. So we're going to do Wonky Wednesdays, and that's what we're doing today. This is Wonky Wednesday. It's kind of just like silly stuff, weird things, trying stuff out. And the idea is support Tassadar today. That's our whole theme. We can actually see on this little graphic. I probably didn't update the chat, so the chat's ripped. Sorry about that, but the chat would of course be over there. We're doing support build. Now, when Tassadar first came out, it was actually all about Force Wall. Believe it or not, it was all Force Wall. Archon wasn't a common thing. Tassadar's kit was a bit different. Instead of Storm, he had this, I forget what it was called, Time Warp. It was called Time Warp. It was a big bubble that you threw on the ground, and it would slow everyone that tried to pass through it. So Tassadar had a lot of control over the battlefield. He would throw the Force Wall down to really zone people out, and he would try to throw the Time Warp out. So in theory, there's a few different, he's labeled as a support in the game. So in theory, you think that that could be a viable thing, but we've never seen it in competitive. We don't ever see this in ladder. Tassadar is always built as kind of either an assassin or a Swiss Army knife. And when I say Swiss Army knife, I mean like somebody that does a little bit of everything. And we can actually take a look at the standard Tassadar build. And this is pretty much what we would typically see in a tournament, right? So Tassadar is going to have a lot of different things. Cat, you need to de-aggro. De-aggro. Psi Infusion is very common to see in the scene. Sometimes we'll see Overload, and occasionally you do see Conjurer's Pursuit. But Psi Infusion, that's just mana retention. Back in the day, you could get increased damage. That's no longer a thing. Additionally, you can get Healing Ward. That's really strong. That makes him that Swiss Army knife. So this is pretty much all you're getting here for sustainability. You're getting Healing Ward for healing, you're getting Psi Infusion for mana retention, and he's already got a shield on top of that. But at that point, that's when you kind of see him start looking a little bit more at damage. So that's in the traditional Tassadar, you're going to see Static Charge, you're going to see Archon, and then a lot of Tassadar players will go for Prescience and Dimensional Warp to make him near impossible to kill, and at 20, they get the Twilight Archon. Here, though, is a build that I've theory crafted that could be viable. This is not so much about healing, not so much more about sustain. It's more geared around just kind of keeping a lot of control over the battlefield. And Conjurer's Pursuit, again, you don't want to be constantly spamming those minion waves. You're not going to be working as much in lane clear, so it doesn't make as much sense to get Psi Infusion. Conjurer's Pursuit, that's focusing more around the globes, and that gives you more mana retention. Now, this is a little bit map dependent. If you're going to be playing on Garden or you're going to be playing on Cursed Hollow, yeah, you're going to want to go towards something like Shoot for sure. But if you're playing on Mines or maybe Sky Temple, that's going to be a little bit shorter. Psi Infusion, that's when you start to consider that. The shorter map length makes that a little bit more appealing. Healing Ward, stick into that. Really strong talent. Just don't question it. And then, I just like the idea of Deep Shift. So you get an additional 1.5 seconds. That's an additional second and a half you can set up for crazy Force Walls. And this is what I wanted people to try to figure out and do. Send me in replays, and we're going to look at some replays. Based on this, though, looking at the rest of the build, another thing you could do is grab Shrink Ray, keep people locked down, and then set up big Force Walls. Again, a lot of control on the battlefield. This is strictly for control. You have this, you have the Shrink Ray, and then you get the slow on the Dimensional Warp. 50% movement speed slow. It's a lot. It's a lot of slowing here. Excuse me, I clicked the wrong thing. That I had Dimensional Warp picked up. That's the healing and the movement speed. What I was actually wanted to grab here was the resonation. So the resonation, 25% slowing. Yeah, that's what I wanted to have clicked. Wrong click on my build. And last but not least, you'd be going for Storm Shield, looking for a bit of sustainability. So it's not at all what we see out of Tassadar ever. Like we pretty much never ever see support play Tassadar. We see the initial build we saw there, and we're going to be looking at some replays. Now we have a couple to look at here to see what people were able to accomplish, and I haven't looked at these replays at all. So I have actually, I mean, I'm excited to see what people were able to do, knowing the community. Oh no, did they patch the game today? Am I just rip? Am I just absolutely rip? Is all of this for nothing? Are all of the replays broken? Okay, guys. Well, we are going to be doing some improvising because the replays that were sent in last night, they put out a hotfix today, and those replays are now actually, they don't work. You can't load previous patches. So, due to the hotfix, the replays are actually broken. So, on that note, I guess I'll actually just be playing a game live. So Liam, thanks for the replay, and I think the other guy was Flame G. That I was going to be looking at the replays. Thank you guys for the replays. We're getting demolished here, and we're going to actually have to do a game live and test this ourselves. So kind of defeating the purpose of this entire ordeal that I tried to put together here, but that's sometimes you just have to improvise. And I just want to give a shout out to the subscribers here, Choo and Bisque. Guys, thank you. Now, we're just going to queue up for a quick match game. We do have Tassadar loaded up, and we can see that with Tassadar, typically, you know, we talked about the damage style. We're going to see what we can get for a composition, and we're actually going to be doing, it is Wonky Wednesday, Wacky Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so we are a bit of on our toes, but yeah, it's going to be kind of dependent on what our comp is. So there's a few options that you can really mess around with as to what you want to grab. So like level 1, you're probably not going to change a lot. You're going to be going for mana retention one way or another. The increased range is solid, but additionally, I don't think you would ever want to grab the Minion Bulwark. I don't really see a lot of use in that based on the current meta. I don't know, I wouldn't consider it. So looking at level 4 though, this is when you can start to like really think about diversifying. The Leeching Plasma is actually pretty cool if you have like an Illidan on your team. You throw this Leeching Plasma down on a melee assassin that's going to be in someone's face a lot, and suddenly they get a lot more healing. So the 20% leech that they get from their attacks while they have the shield active, and we do have an Illidan and a Muradin here, so there's a very good chance we'll be going for that. I'm going to be informing my team that I'm playing as a support style because I want them to know that this is like, they're going to be having their expectations. This is how Tassadar is always played. That's what they want to see, and that's what they want. I'm going to be like, hey guys, I'm doing a weird Tassadar build. I'm going to let them know from the forefront, because maybe that will, encourage Brightwing to not go Blink Kill. Maybe Brightwing will go Emerald Wind and go a little bit more damage heavy. Maybe she'll pick up in Venom. That's what we're going to hope for. But man, it's going to be interesting. So rip in pieces. That patch coming out today, destroying those replays. But we're going to make this work one way or another. And you know what? I made this interface for replays. We'll just go to my normal stream UI, and that'll work.
Oh, a hero has rejoined the battle.
I'm just gonna say, sup dudes, doing a weird support build, and we're gonna see what we can accomplish. This is gonna be difficult. I've tried to support Tassadar. I did it once or twice myself. I think I won one and I lost one.
10 seconds.
And level 1, we're playing on Garden of Terror, so we're going to go Conjurer's Pursuit. Again, we're talking about mana retention in the long game. When you collect those globes, that's going to give you a lot of retention. This does make it a bit harder, especially as the game continues, to have like as solid lane clear as if you did in fact pick up Static Charge. But Tassadar in general, just Sidestorm as a base ability, does have a good amount of lane clear available. And we see that Dwarf Toss coming out, not the Dwarf Toss, the Hammer out of Muradin. Getting the stun off, but it really doesn't mean a lot, so. Again, the power of Tassadar is he has Oracle. That's what makes him a Swiss Army knife. You pop Oracle, you see that stealthy unveils everything around you, really. Just want to dodge that ability. Keep on soaking. Thing is, though, you got to get those globes. When you grab Conjurer's Pursuit, every globe means quite a bit. And it has to become a big part of your focus. Okay, just predicting the hammer. He threw that out like completely whiffed. All right, Executioner. Not really much of an Executioner. You're in training, my friend.
Microphone in just a few moments. I hope you're ready.
And if we see him getting aggressive, we know we're getting low. We just pop Oracle, make sure there's nothing cheeky gonna happen to me. Grab that Globin, and the seeds are about to spawn. So as we clear up that wave, we're gonna tap the well, just for good measure, and then we're gonna make our way up to the seeds that are about to spawn here. Our safe side, not going to do anything too cheeky. The Illidan Brightwing should be able to get a lot of seeds in the bottom. Hopefully they do that. And it looks like Hammer is actually postured to potentially try to keep some aggression on the top portion. This will prevent them from being able to rotate down too easily. And they're taking the safe seeds on their side. Right now, yeah, we see Falset going onto Hammer. And actually, ooh, that's a dead Hammer. Nicely done with their Tier player. That's actually first blood, I believe. Typically these seeds split 30-30, but we can see we actually got 30-30, so it's minor victory. Chasing on Jaina, Illidan should pick up that kill, even with Nova there. Nope, gonna back off. And they're not soaking mid, but we are behind an XP at the moment. That should switch very quickly. And Leeching Plasma, I mentioned like grabbing this for Illidan. But based on the pacing of this map in general, I'm actually just going to go for Healing Ward. We just have a Brightwing. I feel like the additional healing overall is going to get more use. If I was laning with Illidan, and I felt like I'd be laning with Illidan for the entire game, I would consider Leeching Plasma a little bit more. But sticking for a more standard pick here with Healing Ward. Again, it's support style. It makes sense in any kind of Tassadar build, really, or any hero in general. Support, it's such a good ability. Okay, so they're rotating pretty aggressively, but we're not soaking bottom. Neither are they. That's kind of not good. Brightwing phase shift up. Illidan came up as well, looking for a big rotation. I'm just gonna grab my globe. Yeah, we do have to contest it down at this plateau. Okay, Illidan is going to get out. They're going to get enough seeds. And meanwhile, Murd and Hammer are sieging it pretty well.
The sun dawns. My children must
Alright, looking here at this tier for talents, there's Static Charge, again, standard pick. Deep Shift, what we're going to be going for, because we want to try to get some cheeky setups with the Force Wall. Try to really catch people off guard using the Force Wall. And there's a good chance we're going to end up speccing into the Dimensional Shift later on for the additional movement speed to get the even better positioning available on that. I'm going to try to go a different pattern. Try to catch him off guard. I'm actually going to try. 1 second until I can shield. I have no mana. Plant Terror making its way to me, and I don't think I'll be able to Dimensional Shift out of this. Oop, I'm gonna live. Alright. And he overcommitted at that point, so they pick up the kill on Jaina. I should have died, probably. Managed to survive, and we pick up the kill. But they do have that first Plant Terror of the game going down on this. We do have the experience lead slightly, but Plant Terror will probably, you know, take that back to Earth, if you will, putting us in even footing in terms of levels on that quest to level 10. And of course, you always want to blow up these plant terrors when you see them. Is that the Nova? I guess it is. Okay, nice. Just use the Oracle to make sure we could reveal her, allowing Illidan to dive forward onto her, picking up that kill. Okay, Healing Ward, shields, doing a good job keeping Hammer alive with the Brightwing too. You see that he's quite low, the Murder player. And this is all about having this Illidan front line. Like, once Illidan's aggressive, we can just kind of go in with we need to make sure we continue soaking. I don't want him to die, though.
It is destined.
Almost level 10. Once we hit level 10, we can really put some aggression on them. Where's my game music? This is actually terrible. I usually play with music. Okay, backing on out. An additional 1.5 seconds, making it really hard to kill me in general. Force wall. I had to think about it because you're so used to grabbing Archon. Alright, so he's able to dwarf toss on out. Okay. And that was a nice judgment with the Nova there too. Blowing me up, get behind the tower. No, he's going to be able to have to metamorphosis to get on out of there. Maggie Owl gets slowed every time he gets hit by that, but this is also slowing that. Balancing the world. Can I fix my sound? Can I get music? Continuous music. Yo. Fraudulent. What is this?
The light of justice dawns once more.
Yeah, we got tunes again, boys. Alright, so taking it back to the beginning here, the entire point of this is going to be a lot about control over the fights. So when we get to these tight choke points, it's going to be about big force walls, locking people out. You let two get through, you lock one out, and you just blow them up. It's kind of like a StarCraft 2 mentality. If you ever played Protoss, or you ever watched Protoss be played, in StarCraft 2, you want to cut off half their army and blow them up. Yeah, if they have Blink Stalkers, they're going to blink over the wall, but it's the same kind of concept here. If they have Alduran's Might on Tyrael, they're just going to use Alduran's Might to get out. Zerathul's going to blink on out. Muradin's going to Dwarf Toss. And unfortunately for us, they actually have Dwarf Toss and Alduran's Might in this composition. So 2 out of 3 can do that. And Falstad, I think, can actually dash through that wall as well. I don't think that's an impassable wall for Falstad. But you're forcing them to use those abilities in that situation. Problems with the force wall. You can end up killing your teammates with it. That's one. That's kind of a big one. Another thing is, like, you can't take it down. So when it comes to things like the zombie wall, you can actually hit W again to remove the zombie wall. Well, you can't do that with force wall, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, the aggressive fly in onto Rage, and Rage is likely going to die. Going to try to get here for the wall. Nice concussive blast, but yeah, that Frostbolt's going to pick up the kill. We do have a Terra. They have one as well. And again, got to collect the globes. They're going to hit 13 first. And just taking a look at the talents here. Across the board, Tassadar, I'm still going. You guys have seen my build throughout the game. Some pretty weird stuff happening here. Nova's doing Nova things. Jaina's doing a deep chill build, going for the Ice Lance. So she's trying to get the Q, blow up. Then she picked up Icy Vein. So she's doing a full-on burst style with the Q.
Awaken my terror.
Okay, someone got it. I was about to go back, but it's good to delay your terror for a few reasons. We have an additional 20 seconds on the terror, and that's pretty much the only reason. I don't know why I said a few, but that's pretty much the reason why you delay your terror. If you can stall it out, you can then effectively get more use out of it, you know, in the end, especially if it's going to outlast theirs. Of course, the health bar is not any bigger or anything like that. Alright, we're talking about control on the battlefield. We are going to grab Shrink Ray. Distortion Beam can have that effect as well, but we're going Shrink Ray in this game because that's just a more severe slow to pick off selective targets. So it allows us to get selective. Tassadar doesn't have a polymorph. He doesn't have the stuns that Uther has, and this is our way of trying to remedy that. Between Force Wall and Shrink Ray, you can really try to lock down targets and eliminate them from the fights. Our terror is rip.
I deserve no less.
They have no interest in my healing ward or teammates. And the terror has 3 seconds. Not going to be able to get to the wall. Ill in there, diving on forward. And that's a Jaina inside. I actually should have been paying more attention to that because we want to try to blow her up. Now, Jaina, again, we're going to just Shrink Ray her. Put her at the Haymaker, of course, will pick up that kill for sure. And we're just going to try to get on out of here. Get a force wall to back on out. Okay. Like the continuous music still being fraudulent.
How I love to see my garden in the moon's glow.
Alright, 20 seconds until the night fades. So this build is starting to come together a little bit. Still have that, you know, support style available, but we need to try to pick fights on the seeds. That's where this is going to shine. It's going to shine in tight places as they steal armor at camp. That's not good. Try to lock them in. No, I get hit by the stun. Just utilizing that to get out of that bad spot. Nice pick up there. Wow, and the judgment ruined me far more than I wish it did. I'm not able to dimensional shift in time, and I will lose my life. Brightwing might be able to get in here. The Dwarf Toss going forward. Does he have the stun available? Nope. Eldrain's my... Oh, the poly! Just not enough. And if Graves overcommits, he will actually die for this. He keeps chasing, and that's not good. This is getting worse and worse and worse. You've got to know your limits. He's gone in too far, and now he's in such a bad spot. Here comes the triple tap from afar, ruining him. So really, really, really overcommitting to that engagement. I'm going to try to pick up Dimensional Warp to see if we can use that, A, for the more sustainability, B, to try to set up those cheeky force walls, see what we can do with that. Alright, well, we're getting some seeds. They're going to get another Planetarium.
Hold! It shall be done.
Force Wall has a very short cooldown. That's the one saving grace with it. It only like 10 seconds. Is it 12 seconds? Or it's 12 seconds, yeah. So 12 seconds on Force Wall. Very, very short. Just going to pop Oracle, find out where they are. There's Jaina. And I messed that up. I actually used it in a very strange manner. Could have blocked her in if I used it properly, but I did it vertical, not horizontal, if you will. Okay, it does give us just enough for a Plant Terror. Race car status. Getting on out.
The terror awaits heroes. Come and take its power.
Okay, gotta defend their Plant Terror. They do have just about a level lead, almost 2 levels actually. Okay, 26 on our Terror. Doesn't look like anyone's interested, so I will be picking it up this game.
Embrace your terror.
Trying to avoid it because I want to show off the Tassadar style, but not happening. They managed to pick up Muradin. Good, good. We still have 2 dead, though. We can't really just let these sit here. I actually just can't catch this guy. It's very frustrating. He's got 10 seconds left. Okay, that's going to be killing Jaina with the triple tap. Oh, Almost able to get in front of the body block there, not quite enough. Right wing actually getting ruined right now. If we can pick up Tyrael, it'd be good. Hammer lost his life. Hammer kept aggressing by himself. We're chasing military because we're way behind. We don't want to lose any more structures than we have to. When we have multiple members down, it is best to capitalize on what you can do aggressively. Blow them up if you can. Okay, he's gonna die. And I just have to leave.
Night falls in 30 seconds. Are you ready for some amusement?
Rip! Ripperoni and cheese. Alright guys, again, if you're just tuning in, the idea of this show was for people to submit replays, and we're going to go over replays, analyze it in like full depth. Unfortunately, a hotfix came out today and it broke all the replays. Heroes still doesn't support previous patches like StarCraft 2 does, and that's kind of the big problem with that. So all the replays do not work, completely derailing what we wanted to do with the show here today. That's why we're just playing the game to try this out and give you guys an idea of what can happen. Unfortunately, we're not having the best showing here, but either way, we're still not out of this game. We still have all 3 keeps. That means we are very much alive in this match. I wish the music would stop being dumb. I want music. It's awkward without music. It's the worst.
The light of justice dawns once more. Of course.
Alright, so the entire team up here in the top part of the map, we have to go join them. Maybe we can get those super sick city force walls. They have 99. Okay, they did get 100. They're working on the boss, that means. Yeah, oh, they already got it. Okay, they got the whole thing.
The sun dawns. My children.
A shrink ray, putting in work. Okay, if I could get in there. All right, that's a nice hammer. Didn't even need my force wall. Freaking plant terror can walk right through my wall. Imba. Alright, no one died yet. We're still alive. Storm Shield, more sustain, just burst sustain available. Not going to use my Force Ball because it doesn't even seem to affect this guy. And can shield that base. That's the power of Tassadar. Where's the real Nova? Nowhere to be found. The Terror is in full retreat. Not enough seeds on the map for us to get our own Terror, unfortunately.
Your enemy's terror is
I can't use my E, not enough mana, unfortunately. That looked pretty good, but we just were so low on mana, so we just got completely picked apart. Oh my goodness, so low on health. How much health does he have? Well, pretty much none. That's pretty much a big cleanup by them. Hammer staying alive in the back here. Very low on health. Needs to hearth out, but will likely be caught. Okay, gets spotted by the minions. This is actually just terrible. Hearth. What are you doing? Just hearth. Oh god. Longer you wait, the more they can mount and walk towards you. That's the problem with Sergeant Hammer. No Pointer, if you have a new match replay to submit, yes, you can do it. Just send me an email at solidjigtg@gmail.com and we'll actually look at that the next game. So if you do have a replay on this patch that you would like to submit, we will definitely check it out. solidjigtg@gmail.com to submit your replays. You don't only have to submit Tassadar replays, that's for today's shows, but replays in general. If you guys want me to look at something cool, something crazy, you have an idea, send me an email with what you want me to check out, and we can maybe make a show out of it. Giants being picked up on both sides of the map. I am once again alive, going down in my Mecha Tassadar skin, and, well, we are going to have this Plant Terror available. This time going to be picked up by Graves. I believe that's our Muradin player. Yes, that is Muradin. And that's a really good person to be in the Terror. He's who I'd prefer to be in the Terror generally. I mean, he's going forward without our team. And that's kind of the big problem here. See how much damage he's taken already? And our Terror is completely wasted because he just kind of went forward by himself. Should have came down here to help clear up this guy. Because they were able to focus that so convincingly. Oh goodness. Not good at all. This is a 5v3. We need to leave. Rip, boys! I think we're getting ripped. A newbie day in the future will likely be a thing. Yes, we will likely have a newbie day here, built into the daily show, the daily quest rather. Tomorrow, I think we're taking a look at Diablo. We're going to be doing a show based around what we saw in yesterday's Diablo, why it worked, will we see more Diablos in the future, and just like, you know, what makes Diablo different from the other tanks. Why have we not seen them in so long, etc. But here, I think the game is going to be ending in just a moment. They have 5. We're getting picked apart. It's not looking good. Diablo is fixed. Oh, my first world Tassadar play is definitely not anything good. But I believe that people can do it well, and I think it definitely has some unique potential. It's hard to really show how good it could be in solo queue. Oh my goodness. Rage, are you doing this? Oh no, Nova's disconnecting. Yeah, you're damn right I'm going to take this kill.
All things must end.
Game's not over, apparently, as their Nova decides to disconnect, giving us some leeway. Can we take out their last fort? So what I'm looking for is a lot of aggression out of this Tyrael. I want him to come in so I can try to lock him down. That might be enough. Not quite. And we're alive, and we are running.
It is tested.
Push their waves back a little bit. Grab this top plant terror. That'll give us a terror, but yes, that's the problem. Oh no, Graves. He's about to go into his grave, getting chased by 3 to 4 members of the Blizzard. Just all that stuff coming to zoning. The fly from Falsehead will secure his death. So much zoning between Emerald Wind and Force Wall, but it's not really what we need. We need survivability right now.
Harvest the results of your efforts, heroes. Bring my terror to life.
Yeah, I'm dead.
My plans will revive you.
The hammer's doing work. Not really. She pushed a little bit. That's going to be GG, guys.
Why do you delay? No terror lasts.
For Diablo replays, it's going to be primarily pro games, but if you guys want to submit replays, I'll definitely check them out. Primarily, I'm going to be looking at the cast that we saw the other day with Evil Geniuses playing as Diablo. It was really cool, and I want to kind of analyze it and talk about why it's so, why it was so successful and why it worked out so well.
Trust me, it's a lot of fun. Nice job. The terror has sapped the life from the enemy.
Well, they should just push in and end this, but they want to eliminate our terror, and you can't blame them for that. And Graves is just kind of fighting, throwing away our terror again. Not really how you want to use the terror. You want to kind of back up, let your team fight, poke and prod, cast its abilities, look to get a big polymorph for Queen's Curse, if you will, and then initiate with that. And that's really not at all what he's doing. He just kind of tried to smack them in the face, and it's probably the worst way to use it. No! No! Get him! Okay. Unconventional, but it worked. Alright, there goes our final keep. And we just can't let catapults push in. No, that's not actually a catapult, but we still need to defend this push coming out in this bottom lane. I don't know if that did anything. I don't know if that hurt or helped. I really don't know.
How I love to see my garden in the ruins below.
Looking at the build again, it is very strange. A lot of it's about control over the battlefield. And seeds will be spawning in just 5 seconds. Do they get a keep? They're doing work, but they're back up. And they need to fall back. I'm going to try to get to my team. Okay, no, they're backing. They're backing. Maybe not. Meriden wants to fight. Which means I have to get there. Try to do his cheeky dimensional shift. Oh! Yes! They interrupted him. Godlike. What? Oh no. The triple taps are real. Ruining us. Guys, if you do have any Tassadar support play with force wall builds that you've played on the patch today, they hotfixed it today, our replays got ruined, send me them at my email. It's just solidjgg@gmail.com. Oh no. Oh no. The aggressive fly in, the polymorph comes out, but there's no rewind unless he picked up at 20. I don't actually know if he did. Oh, he's dead. Is it finally game?
I suppose I can use this time to meditate.
My force balls are the worst. They didn't hotfix force ball, they hotfixed the patch. So basically that breaks the replay files. That's why we don't have any kind of replays to work on. If they do anything to patch the game, the version is different and the game cannot read the replays. It's really kind of frustrating. It's hopefully something they'll fix in the future. So pretty much anything pre-today, the replay can't be loaded. Rip, boys! Well, that was my attempt at playing a support Tassadar. Pretty unsuccessful, but I believe we might have some replays that were sent over during that game. So I'm going to check. Inbox is still empty, so if you have those replays, shoot them over now and we'll take a look. If not, it's mission failed. Episode 1 failed. Thanks Blizzard. Level 10 though. Level 10 though. Master portrait. Mount variation. So exciting. Now, just kind of going back on over to what we were looking at here for the towns. This is kind of like one of the ideas, and just kind of going over the general concept of what this is. This is a full-on utility Tassadar. You're looking for the force wall. You're looking for the deep shift to maybe stay in stealth a little bit longer. This can be replaced by either Kala's Embrace. I don't know if Kala's Embrace is really worth it, personally. I think it's kind of a weak talent. Or Call Down Mule. Now, if this like had mana return or something too, I think that'd be cool, but it doesn't have that. And then, yeah, the Call Down Mule is very good. Force Wall, and then we're looking at Shrink Ray, which I was miserable at using in that game, and Resonation for a bit of slow. We didn't end up getting Resonation. We ended up going for the Dimensional Warp because we realized we needed the extra sustain. But if you can, ideally, you're going to be able to do something that's really just lockdown heavy. This will not work with a solo support. You're going to want to do something like double aggressive. Like, you'd probably want to pair this with something like maybe a Tyrande or a Rhaegar. It might be enough because this doesn't have as much healing as you would hope for. The shielding is good. The Q is always going to be good, but it doesn't have as much as you might really hope for. But that's really what the whole idea was. Unfortunately, the patch kind of ruining things. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes. I know people mentioned they do have some games played today, and they were going to try to send those over. Give you guys a couple minutes to see if we can get those videos. But if we fail miserably, well, that's just going to have to be the end of the show. Now, I think I have some ideas. Ooh, look at those stats in the chat. So Gosu. We are going to be looking at Diablo tomorrow, so it's going to be a show focused on Diablo as a hero in general. And looking down the pipeline, well, if you guys want to submit any kind of ideas, any kind of just different things you guys want to see on the show, please just let me know. Shoot me a tweet, shoot me an email, whatever you guys want to see on the show, because it's going to be Tuesday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern is when it's going to start. Today we started late because I was setting up something for Town Hall, but typically it's going to be 4 p.m. Eastern. 4 days a week. The daily quest is what we're calling it. And here's a replay file, okay? So, Rusty Eyeballs played a Zeratul, but oh, this is something else. This is not actually a Tassadar game. So this is for a future video. So we'll take a look at that maybe on a future episode, but not for today, because today was supposed to be all about Tassadar. But I think that's going to be it, guys. I think we're going to switch over to just some normal games, because I promised to stream. I intended this to be a much longer endeavor, but since our replay files got corrupted via the patch, we're just going to do some normal games. And we're going to start out with Viking Boys, or do we do the quest to ranked? Do we do the quest for rank 1? You guys vote in the chat. Let me know what you'd prefer to see. The daily quest is over. Thank you for watching the daily quest. I'll actually sign it out for the YouTube VOD. Ripperoni the patch. Thanks for watching. Sign out. Blah blah. Screen.